I hate the hypocrisy of white men. They cry about race mixing all day, yet they are the ones who created billions of mulattoes throughout history, whether it's in North America, South America, or Africa, and Europe as well, okay, and the Middle East. Now they want to cry about a few percentage of the population being mulatto in their white societies. Fuck out of here, hypocrites. Yeah, I like that comment because you're right. The hypocrisy is overwhelming because we have small numbers in these white societies, and that's been because they've literally throughout history have made it illegal for us to exist in a way. They've outlawed interracial relationships. Okay, we know the history of that with anti-miscegenation laws and then Loving versus Virginia, etc. So there's a whole history where they've literally tried to deny our existence or stymie our development. Okay, and then of course with they couldn't hide the fact that we're already here, already a solidified population from 1700s, 1800s, and of course the early 1900s. They developed a plan to neutralize us further to dump us in the black community with the Racial Integrity Act, effectively the one drop rule, right? Which people act like the one drop rule is so ancient. The one drop rule was developed in 1924 with the Racial Integrity Act. Prior to 1930, mulatto has always been an independent category recognized by the federal government on the census since the inception of this nation of the United States. And of course, mulatto comes as a Spanish word all over Hispaniola, in the Caribbean, and of course in Europe and in West Africa. Okay, these other societies around the world have has a mulatto, recognition literally in the history books, etymology for centuries, even before America was established, or the United States, we should say. And so, yeah, now they're today we see that we have a small population. Our numbers are growing. Okay, but we get a lot of hate out here. I'm just one guy up here on social media, kind of telling my story or the parts of it that I want to tell. We get a lot of hate, and it's a small percentage. And literally, a lot of these white guys created mulattoes, right? But they just don't. They want the access to all the women, to the Asian women, Latina women, and all that stuff, black women. See, they just don't want the black guys to have that similar access in a lot of ways. Okay, this is what I definitely see. So those of us who have white moms, we get a lot of hate. Okay. In North America, they're also the ones who created the one drop rule to protect white supremacy, or you could say white purity. Okay. Now, 100 years later, they act shocked about the fact that most mulattoes are more in touch with their black side. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm doing this to kind of keep it balanced because I have a lot of the crybabies who whine and cry about my commentary. I just tell them, look, don't watch. Go take your ghetto ass back to your celebrity drama bullshit over there. Don't watch my shit. If you don't, I don't watch your celebrity shit. If you're gonna bring up my name in a live stream, then you bet your ass I'm gonna respond to your dumb ass. But all your little celebrity bullshit, I'm not your audience for that. So don't cry about what I'm doing over here on my channel, right? They know who they are, the person I'm talking to. So I'm gonna keep it balanced right here for all you little crybabies. And yeah, now 100 years later, they act shocked about the fact that a lot of these mulattoes are more in touch with their black side. They're more so black identified because they look at the history where they've literally been excluded from full membership access into whiteness. And there seems to be this kind of interesting kind of schism or dilemma going on where we see how the whiteness is granted to even Hispanics. If it's a white person and a Hispanic and they have a child, that person more so or less is offered membership access into whiteness. Or if it's an Arab person and they're white and offspring, they're offered membership access, Asian, white, right? I had a white guy. I pointed out the fact that Keanu Reeves is mixed race. Keanu Reeves, his mother, I believe, Polynesian background. She has a lot of right Asian background. You can clearly see it in Keanu Reeves. And there's a white guy. He's probably gonna listen to this. He knows who he is, and he was basically like, "Oh, well, he's basically just a white guy." You see, they always open up the door and allow room for these other mixed people who are admixed, right? But they phenotypically present more so as European, perhaps. They always basically have the back door open for them to jump in there, right? But a lot of times their issue is with the mulatto because what they fear is historically a lot of these mulattoes they identify with the black plight, black people, and so they will help them and aid them and assist them. Oftentimes, they will basically, in some regards, weaponize the blacks or engineer them or motivate them to fight back against a power structure. You see that with like a Colin Kaepernick, who's a grifter as well. We know, kind of bought and paid for by the major media and corporations, Ben and Jerry's, Netflix, and Hulu, and all these other kind of uh, non-government agencies or nonprofits, whatever. We know the guy's getting paid pretty well to be a pro whack, but he's a mulatto guy, right? Taking a knee against police brutality and all that stuff. So that's when I really started to see the turn with a lot of in white society and their sentiments towards people like me. I knew damn well right away at that time that, oh, these whites, they don't see me as a black. Like, I know the blacks will gaslight you and trick you and try to fool you that, oh, my white massa, he just sees you as like me. You just a lighter skinned black. They'll try to trick you. But people like me who've traveled this country, navigated society enough to realize that's not the case. Not the case. They know I'm mixed, and a lot of them have a lot of fear because of that, because they feel like it's the mixed people. They always take the side with the blacks to go against whites. Okay. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but this is real shit. Okay. This is real information, my own personal testimony, and my observations in society. I'm presenting to the public. Okay. Now, if you disagree, like I said, the link is dropped. You're always more than willing to hop up on the panel, challenge that, or you can put a comment and tell me why you don't agree. But I wanted to share this one. Like I said, this little comment. I like the comment. The comment's not little. It's just I was thinking about doing a live stream or a video to expand upon this with some other commentary that I have. But I think I kind of said enough of why the hypocrisy has got to be called out, why they cry about a few mulattoes, but there's been a systemic plan throughout history to literally neutralize us, to be subordinates to another group of people. 2024, the summer, here we are now, May 16th. You're going to find out a lot of these people, my supporters, even people who don't support me, they're not trying to be subordinates or bowing down. Some of us go about it different ways than others, right? Let me get into some of your guys' comments here. Anti-miscegenation was only really for black men and white women, right? Because white men since slavery had access to black women. Rules for thee, but not for me. And what it is now, you have a lot of white guys who are mad. They're upset that black men have kind of full access in the marketplace, right? And that's what a lot of them are upset with, that a lot of these black guys have just as much access as white guys, okay? And they've never intended the laws to work out like that in that favor. They wanted to be the ones who could just have all the, black women. Like think of like a Mick Jagger type of rock star who has got, baby mamas around the world. And yeah, they wanted that situation. They didn't want white women to have that type of, I'm not saying all, not being absolutist, but I'm just generally speaking. Yeah, they don't. The same guy I've shared before on one of my streams who cries about mulattoes. Yeah, and he's always talking about white women and black men. He's never talking about white men with black wives. He never mentions that. They never mention that. They always have to talk about the white woman with the black man. That's what they fear. It's very obvious what we see. White men's biggest fear is genetically, yeah. Well, all they have to do, they can solve that, is by getting with other white women. But a lot of them are getting with Asian women. I see that huge trend, or Hispanic women. The thing is, they can assimilation. They'll allow the Hispanics to become white. But white men will go to Asia, literally create all these children and leave them and go back to the West. Interesting. I have a friend, a childhood friend, a white guy, childhood friend. Shout out to DJ. And he had a relationship here in the States. Didn't really work out. You know, he got a divorce and stuff like that. He went to the Philippines, found a woman, and has a kid with her. But he goes back and forth. Like I don't know if he has dual citizenship at the moment, but I follow him on his social medias and stuff. I follow his sister too. Like I said, childhood friends. And no, he's in close contact with his new family out in the Philippines. I believe because his wife or his I don't know if he officially married her, but the mother of his child, she wants to stay in the Philippines. She doesn't want to move to America. So he's kind of having to figure things out to do like part time in America and then go overseas to the Philippines to be with his family. So that's his own personal business. But yeah, he's not just leaving his family out there like that. So shout out to that cat.